Syracuse is clear on the half forward line.
Look at this. You don't get much more space than this. Does he want Johnson? He does.
One, two.
Over the top. Gian Syracuse in midair. Oh. Kicks an absolute beauty. One of 3 goals for Daniel Gian Syracuse. Adelaide led by 5 points at half time. But now the Bulldogs lead by 2 going into this final term. Welsh also 3 for the Dogs. Burton has been superb for Adelaide up forward with 4. Cooney getting plenty of the ball. Pleasure. What an outstanding third quarter for him. Rowan Smith has been excited all afternoon. At the moment, he's in the best seat in the house.
Well, I'm certainly in the heartland of Doggy. We're here in the cheer squad, and I'm joined by Sean. And now, Sean, it's a bit of a tight game. What are the boys going to do in this last quarter to get Jono up in his 300th?
How they finish that last quarter. Just got to look for Welsh and Jono up forward. Just keep the pressure on him and just do it for Jono.
Now, what does the cheer squad do to actually fire the boys up here at three-quarter time? They're in the huddle at the moment. We've got to make some noise. Let's make some noise.
Oh, we go with the usual. Bulldogs! 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 Bulldogs!
So as you can hear down here, boys, the Bulldogs boys are going off, and they're going to try and get them up here in the last quarter.
Thanks, Rowan, and you can get back to your normal seats, and it certainly has been a big afternoon for all Bulldogs fans. Brad Johnson's 300th game. Will it be the finish he's looking for? Time will tell. A 2-point margin. And gentlemen, I honestly believe halfway through that third quarter, Adelaide had this game completely in the bag.
Well, they kicked the last 4 goals of the second quarter, the Crows, to go in with momentum. Then they started the third quarter with the first 2 through Douglas and Edwards. You just had this feeling the Bulldogs had that bit of a, oh, here we go again. They finished last season really poorly. Brett Burton was a real thorn in the side of the Bulldogs defenders. He was just running ragged. They were winning it at the contested situations. But to the Bulldogs' credit, they were able to get involved, and that bloke was pretty important, Spud.
He certainly was. The Bulldogs with Josh Hill also. You talk about contested marks. He's not a big player. He's had 4 out of 11 contested marks from the Bulldogs, and Brad Johnson kicking a couple. Tell you what, Matthew, if he kicks one early, Brad Johnson in front of that crowd, they will erupt.
You didn't mention he's not a big man, Josh Hill. He's 79 kilos. So a stiff
and
breeze
that's dripping wet too, apparently.
And a stiff breeze would blow him over, but he's shown that he's got terrific hands. He's great on ground level. He's a one-touch player, so exciting times for the Dogs.
Look for a big start from the Bullies.
Final quarter, Easter Sunday afternoon game. Who will get the chocolates? Who will get their first 4 points of 2008? Edwards has gone forward for Adelaide. He's at full forward. And the clearance comes from Hargrave. Eagleton, can he run onto it? John Cock gets an awful bounce. But he gets a better one the second time. Tough kick there. There was 3 Bulldogs there. Was trying to find Goodwin. Murphy got it to West. He gave it back to him. Now his vision's good. He's got a choice of 2. One of them's Cooney. Ackermanis goes into the pocket. Superb pass.
Super kick. That is a magnificent kick from Cooney. 25 disposals, Adam Cooney.
Now, 4 or 5 years ago, Ackermanis at his best would nail this without a problem.
Well, if he kicks as straight as his friend, you'll pick a goal.
Nothing's changed for Acker.
What a wonderful finish by Ackermanis. A great kick by Cooney. You're not wrong there. And, well, that's what they needed, the Dogs. You always want to start the last quarter of a game. Doesn't matter what the position of it is. A chain of handballs, that's where they've been very good. But this kick to the fat side of the ground, as they say, where there's some space. And beautiful kick. You're right, he has got a bit of a straight fringe, Spud.
The key to that was Murphy and West, great mates of Jono, involved in the play early.
And another goal for the Western Bulldogs, giving Neil Craig really something to think about now. 8-point margin. Ackermanis, wonderful finish.
Cooney up to 25 possessions too for the Dogs.
Hudson against Griffin. We'll have a secondary bounce, something we haven't seen a lot of this afternoon, which is good.
Here we've got the matchup. I like this matchup better. Dale Morris, their best defender, on the opposition's best forward in Brett Burton.
We've got a line of players right down the ground. All in the corridor at the moment. Every single player.
On the shoulder, Adelaide.
Adelaide 3, now they'll spread. Jonathan Griffin to the first that spreads to that space, and that's Scott Thompson. Bullet-like pass from Thompson's a beauty.
He leads hard and straight, young Kirk Tippett. We saw him take a couple of beautiful hangs in the NAB series, but what I've liked about his game today, Liam, he's got it on the lead.
Great kick by Thompson. Not a lot Brian Lake could do there.
Now,
You wonder how you can get, sorry, Matty, you wonder how you can get space when there's so many players in that area, how he can get a straight lead of the ball from the goal square.
If you've got enough confidence in the ball kicker, you'll lead to a smaller hole. Now, he missed his first set shot, but got one in play, right on 50 metres. Tippett kicks the goal. Adelaide stay in touch.
Good comeback there from Adelaide. Great kick, great lead. I'm with you, Liam. We see the kick here. Now, we know Thompson's a very good kick, but the Bulldogs midfielders, if they can improve on something over the next few weeks, is get in the hole, but get in the corridor. Get back a little bit quicker and turn your head, because you know the opposition forwards, they love the ball in the corridor. So at least stand in the corridor, force them wide. That's a very good kick from a young player.
Adelaide fans watching will be very excited about this young man. He's got his second goal, and he's got his team back within 2 points.
See Simon Goodwin playing at half forward at the moment for the Crows. Hargrave is direct opponent, which is an interesting matchup.
They go forward again, this time through Symes. It spills back. Here's a chance. Adelaide Thompson runs onto it, shares it. Burton for 5. He's got it. Adelaide back in front.
Just the work rate again of Brett Burton. He's up at the contest at the high half forward position, and you can see him there. There he is. There he is. I'll keep working. I'll push forward. He's such a hard worker, Brett Burton.
We see young Cam White there now. He's under pressure, and when the ball spills over the back, it always plays in the hand of the opposition's team, because they've got the momentum, they're running towards their goal. If he had his time again, just get a fist on it and get the ball moving the other way.
5 goals for Brett Burton. He's been the dominant forward for Adelaide. He's been terrific. And what a shift in momentum again. 2 very quick goals for the Crows. Sees them back in front by 4. Centre clearance also important once again. Hudson up early. It's Thompson, who's been very good so far in this last quarter. Stevens gave it up. West with some vision. Cooney, Hudson. The mongrel of a handball. Eagleton got free pretty easy. Got onto his left. Hooks it towards Welsh or Minson. Minson dropped it. Welsh is trying to clean it up. Good gang tackle by Adelaide.
Yeah, too high.
Too high. Welsh free kick.
No, he drew the tackle, and there's no doubt there's an Adelaide Crow arm. I'm not sure who it was. We may have a look on the replay, but you could just sense that there was an arm going over the top of Scotty Welsh's head there. The umpire picked it up beautifully.
Neil Craig looking on. He's not sure. Welsh for number 4 for another lead change. He's got it just by centimetres.
He kicks a lot of goals in Bulldog Adelaide games, but normally it's the Adelaide Crows jumper. But today he's playing his first game. We just see the replay there. Symes definitely went too high. The umpire picked that up. That's good play there. We just see his right arm over the top of Scotty Welsh's head, and that is magnificent umpiring there. The umpires are loath to play those, but if they're there, they're there. You've got to play them.
Scott Welsh was about to come off now. He's averaged 4 goals against the Bulldogs. He's got the exact return this afternoon. What a game here at the Telstra Dome. What a way to start the season. Back to 2 points, Western Bulldogs. The big punch from Minson. Eagleton can run onto it. He's on his wrong side, but the bounce actually lets him run back to the left. Hooks it into some space. West trying to keep it alive, trying to force it forward. Doughty did well. Paul Pleasure Straight up the middle. Griffin needs a runner. Decides to just turn and kick it long. Edwards at the back. Gilby read it well.
Excellent play, Gilby. He's a beautiful kick of the ball. This will end up on a Western Bulldogs player's chest.
Crows play down behind play.
Now, Minson was going past. It's Van Berlo down, but Cooney's in trouble.
So is
Ackermanis. Did he have prior opportunity? No.
And good decision too.
Good umpiring. There's Van Berlo. A little bit winded.
Boys, a telling factor in this last quarter. The Bulldogs have had 65 interchanges to the Crows 48. So this could be, with a little bit of heat in the air in this last quarter, could be a telling factor.
West with the clearance, throws it on the boot. Here's Hill. It's got McLeod on him. Welcome to the big time. Vince, hard running from Goodwin. He's rewarded. He pops it up a bit too much. Goodwin can take it and go. To the goal square. Stevens a target. Beautiful kick from Goodwin.
I see Lindsay Gilby putting his hands on his head after that marking situation now. Goodwin was probably always going to mark the ball, but he had to body line him. He had to hold him up and not allow him to get past. We see the instant here. Gilby tried to have too much of the ball. Just had to hold him up on the mark. That's a forward's bread and butter. They love that. And there's no one on the mark.
18 disposals for Stevens. He's hooked that, and he would have put the Crows back in front. It's a shocker.
That's a let-off.
Well, it's a cardinal sin, Spud. Lindsay Gilby's bit of play there. He overcommitted. And I know you can't grab the jumper. That's the easy one. That was what you used to be able to do. Just grab the jumper. Now that's a 50. But you've just at least got to slow yourself down and put your arms out so he can't just waltz around you and get the ball inside 50.
1 point ball game. Ackermanis. It's been good. Had to be spot on with the kick. It was holding anyway for Minson.
We mentioned McLeod's gone to Hill, hasn't touched the ball. It was his first, that last bit of play was his first touch in 24 minutes of play, so they've done a good job.
Minnow.
That's Kevin Bartlett stuff.
He's tried to bounce the ball when the players had hold of his jumper.
He's made an absolute mess of it. Edwards kicking long to the pocket. 2-on-1. Spills over the back. A chance for Adelaide. Can they get there quick enough? They can't. Morris first to recover for the Bulldogs. West. Hill runs to the wing. McLeod just peeled off and let him go. Cross ran hard to get to the front of the pack and measured it to Boyd. Bulldogs got plenty of players on the other side. Will Minson wants it 90 metres away.
Well,
he can't kick it that far for a start.
It'll have to be Jeff Ferring. McLeod safe hands.
Oh, that's a risky kick too.
Oh, good take by Edwards. Had to be something
courage.
special, and it was. Adelaide through Vince. And then McKay to the pocket. Still going Adelaide. Not much room.
No.
Riley threw it out.
good tackling.
It was Thompson.
So have a look at this passage of play here by Big Will. I'll take you on. Seriously, Kevin Bartlett was the last bloke that got away with doing that. That was back in the 1980 grand final, so I'm not sure what Big Will was thinking.
Well, that sort of puts paid to the saying, where there's a will, there's a way, because there wasn't.
Well, in a foot race, well done, mate. But in a foot race, Van Berlo versus Minson, I think Van Berlo's always going to win that one.
Hargrave now for the Dogs. To the outer side, Higgins. Back in board, Eagleton. Whoops.
Need to be good ball use here.
Here go Adelaide. Good one, they've got it. Going in the right direction. Symes. Oh,
Great tackle.
And is rewarded.
Oh, we've seen some great tackling the last 5 minutes. Tried to get on his preferred leg, Liam.
He did, which most players are told to do now. Get on your preferred leg if possible, but he tried to cut back inside, but didn't have the momentum to get past. He needed a bit more speed.
He almost ran straight into him.
Well, it was a great tackle.
The crowd rewarded for their call, holding the ball, Bulldogs ball.
Griffin's going to get this again.
He's off and running.
No one long, though. McLeod will sweep back here.
Now,
Josh
it's
Hill.
exactly what happened. McLeod keeps his feet. So too Johnson. He'll be happy at the boundary line.
Good result.
It's a good win for the Bulldogs there.
Nathan Eagleton coming off now.
Players are
After
spent
a bit
there.
of play.
How are they looking down there, Rowan Smith?
Well, Nathan Eagleton just come off, and Bordy was just putting the ice vest on, and he's had to go back on the ground because Eags is just physically spent there.
Griffin hooked around the corner and scored a point. So the Bulldogs bring up their 100. It's good, but they're only 2 ahead. And this is going to be very tense in the last 5 or so minutes because the players now are going to fatigue.
Well, under pressure, they just have to make the correct decision.
That's a beautiful kick from Van
Fantastic
Berlo.
kick.
Here's young McKay,
Pace.
backing himself in, kicking it long, kicking it too long. Morris. And we go back out the other side for some circle work.
In these instances here, Liam, this is why they train for 6 months under pressure. But it's very hard to simulate this situation, isn't it, in pre-season training?
Well, I often say that I reckon round 1 is probably the hardest home and away game. There'll be the odd one. Oh, gee.
Hudson with a tired kick. Douglas is pushed in the back. No whistle. Hahn. Boundary throw in.
And the reason I say it is there's a build-up of all that stuff. You've had 6 months of training. Yes, you've played some pre-season games, but you're your best team on the park, or the best team you can put together on the park, and everyone's fit. Both sides are fit and strong.
Higgins. Just missed his target again. Now, Hahn lucky because he ducked into that.
You were correct in that call there, Matty. There's no doubt he did duck into that. You see him just lower the arm and the head. Plow's the call there. Very lucky. That's a win for the Bullies.
There's a lot of tired players out there. A lot of hands on hips.
I'm
both
tired
sides.
watching.
I just get the funny feeling that there could be a monumental error that gives up the game. This is White. Bulldogs transferring to the open side.
He's been excellent today, young White.
Hargrave, good running.
It was good running.
He's a good kick also down the line.
Now
He's been called to play on.
Strife.
Gian Siracusa gets a bad bounce. John Cock to clean up for Adelaide. Doughty. Good tackle, Gian Siracusa. Again, good tackling.
Game's up for grabs now.
Adelaide can't get free at the moment. Shirley.
Pressure. Well done.
A lot of heat there.
And they were up to it, though. John Cock gave it to Bock. Through the middle, McKay.
Bassett just on the ground if they can see him outside the right of the screen.
They may not need him. Douglas run down by Welsh. Still going, Adelaide. Now the turnover. Cross.
Smart kick. He's got Griffin on if he can find him.
Gian Siracusa has. Griffin.
Murphy can run into the space here.
Johnson into the pocket.
Good kick.
And he gives it to Brad Johnson.
It's on the right side for a right footer. Just go back and kick the goal, Brad.
2 goals in the third term after kicking a couple of behinds in the first.
It's a difficult pocket to kick from at this ground because you really need to have some draw on the ball.
20 seconds gone. 20 seconds.
Can the smiling assassin hit his mark?
Watch the crowd go up if he does.
No. They went up anyway, Danny. 3-point game, 9 minutes remaining.
The intensity's really lifted here, both sides. And now you're right. The skill errors become crucial in this match.
Last time Adelaide played in this game was the final against Hawthorn. A similar situation.
Sure, there's a Buddy Franklin out there on the Dogs forward line at the minute.
Van Berlo spreading it to Rutten. He's got some time. He needs it because he just fumbles.
Oh, well done.
He may need some more. He got it back. McKay to Rutten again. Still going, the big man.
Good
He
hit.
is a good kick. Like to see that a player making an error. Didn't panic, kept going. Kept himself in the contest.
Not a lot Robert Murphy could do this. We see that follow-up from Rutten.
It was a good hit up, really, Spud, because he could have run to sort of 55 and blazed away, but on the leading player, which is Simon Goodwin.
Goodwin, 3 behinds for the day. This one to put the Crows back in front. Yes, indeed.
Captain's goal.
Margin has changed, 3 points the other way.
You want your leaders to step up in critical situations, and what a better time for Simon Goodwin, taking over the captaincy from Mark Rasciuto last year. Just went back, and we see that was great play from Rutten. As you said, just followed on, made a mistake, but had great composure, didn't blaze away. But this kick for goal is the mark of a leader. Fantastic.
Solid kick from the skipper. Crows up by 3 points. Still 8 minutes remaining. The way this game's going, the lead will change 3 or 4 times. Back in the middle now. Tippett was searching for ball pleasure, and he busts through. And he did well, and he gave it to Douglas, who gets the clearance. And he gets it onto the chest of McGregor.
Too strong there, McGregor. Held wide off. He knew he had a marked advantage in the strength stakes, just held wide off in the last minute, flew at the ball.
Well, he was in front. When the kick wasn't exactly a drop punt, it was a bit of a floater, and he had front position. He's got a big body.
He'll get the trip, Matty.
Well, given his kick in the third quarter, he'll get the trip, and he is very accurate. 51 metres. It's home! Another goal to McGregor. The Crows out by 9.
You often hear how coaches say that forwards just need to be in front, and they step in front at the right time. The clearance come now, or it came, I should say. Well done, Paul Pleasure. Now, that kick was a floater, but see how he's got front position? Too strong. Cameron White didn't do a hell of a lot wrong, I should say, but just needed to be really side by side at that stage. And it was a wonderful finish in a game where it's pretty hot and it's late in the match. That's a great kick.
Pressure back on Rodney Eade now. McGregor with his second. 16-14 to 15-11. Terrific game of football. Still plenty to come.
Gone.
Hudson gone.
Gone.
Held to him, the umpire decision.
The ruckman took possession of the ball. Now, if nothing happens, I think that's got to be a free kick to Adelaide.
That was a free kick.
Or does the ball have to spill?
Well, I would have thought that was a free kick.
Here's Paul Pleasure. He just tunnels through once again. Been very impressive. You know, we know he can kick goals, but his work in close has been terrific.
Yeah, well, he grabbed it.
It's a free kick. It's a free kick to Adelaide. If you take possession of the ball in a ruck contest and you don't dispose by hand or foot, it's a free kick to the opposition.
Thompson almost got one for in the back. Here's Paul Pleasure again. Symes stepped out of trouble, gave it to Edwards, throws it on the boot, just getting it to McGregor again. Now he can just about get home. He's going to play on quickly. McLeod or Burton.
Oh, well done.
Hard work, Van Berlo.
Well done, Eagleton also.
Stayed over the ball. West can't knock it out. Ball upcoming it is. 45 metres out from Adelaide's goal.
Did really well there, Nathan Eagleton. Hurt himself in that collision there. Oh, he was very lucky there, Nathan Eagleton. Let's hope he's all right.
Hudson gave it down to Griffin. Quick hands cross. He decides to just throw it on the boot himself. Johnson backs back, knocks it into the hole. Doughty going back. Here comes Welsh.
Did well.
Took it, bounced out towards Johncock. Johnson trying to pick his pocket. And quickly we move down the other end. Eagleton coming off.
Rowan Smith, how is Nathan Eagleton?
Well, you see, he just put his body on the line there. I reckon he's got a massive corky to his right thigh. So, yeah, he might, maybe even in his hip. So he's not moving too well, boys.
Could be the hip, yeah. He's gone straight up the race. 6.5 minutes remaining. We may not see him. Gilby may get the footy, though. It sits for him now. What's his decision going to be?
Adelaide have flooded back.
Hargrave doesn't kick a lot of goals. Enjoys kicking in the mode.
Well, Hill's on his own in the pocket.
He's handball to Gilby.
The designated kicker from 52, Lindsay Gilby. He is the man to take the shot.
Adelaide were half asleep there. You've got the best kick in the Western Bulldogs team, Lindsay Gilby, just hovering around Ryan Hargraves. He's the one man we see on the screen here. Adelaide, half asleep. You have to man him up. You have to play about 1 or 2 metres off his kicking leg. If he does get it, you tackle. But Half asleep there, Adelaide. Neil Craig wouldn't be too happy with that one, Lou.
Great finish too by, as you said, the best kick in the team.
Back to 3 points inside 6 minutes.
See, both sides are cracking in at the contest as well. So a couple of really good, important efforts by Ryan Griffin in this quarter, as well as Paul Pleasure for Adelaide.
Mince will try and spike it again, and he did.
25,000 people enjoying this wonderful contest. Gilby for 2 in a minute. This time he's got to go round the corner to the goal square. Johnson almost. Johncock, did he have possession? No. Welsh for the miraculous, for the impossible, for the match. No. Gee, thought he kicked it for a second.
It was a great effort. Will Minson, though, has had a couple of big spikes in the centre bounce. Adelaide Crows have to be aware of Minson when he goes into the ruck, because he just spikes it. We see there, well short it was home.
As a player, you normally know when you've kicked one. Must have been just about over the post.
110 to 108.
Well, you think you know if you've kicked it.
There's still 5 minutes to play, so a bit early to start icing the clock and running the clock down.
Symes is just really no one to kick to, so he's still wondering. Doughty spilled it. Cross.
Wasn't 15 anyway, surely, that kick.
This is such an important game for Rodney Eade and his Bulldogs. Regardless of the result now, I think they've shown that if they play this intensity, they're going to be a very good side this year. The Crows are very good at this contested game.
McKay slips it to Thompson, to Stevens. Now McGregor runs for him. Into some space, he found Goodwin. Burton has peeled off. Burton should get
Burton
this.
running back towards goal.
Goodwin trying to find him. Morris arrives.
Great work, Morris.
Did enough, but they're not out of jail yet. Adelaide swoop on it. McGregor, Burton, and Douglas underneath it. Players piling over the top. We have a ball up 30 metres from goal. Morris, a good effort.
What a great contest. Little Dylan Addison put his body in there. I reckon he got a ripping corky. Or at the very least.
Ball up, Gian Syracuse couldn't quite take it. We're going to have another ball up. 4 minutes 20.
It's easy for the umpire to say knock it out. If you're a Bulldogs player, you want to keep it in there.
You do. Set plays here, Crows. We've done a lot of work over the summer. Looking to hit for some space. Bulldogs trying to close it down.
Griffin got it to Douglas. Here he is. He goes back to Thompson. Doughty just spilled it. Adelaide just push it forward to the square. Ball at ground level. A crummer needed. Griffin gave it to Goodwin. And the skipper kicks another one. Numbers went out. 2 to Goodwin. And once again, he gives his side a little bit of breathing space.
Class rises to the top. It was a terrific contest there. We see Doughty fumble the ball, but then made up for it. Quick kick forward. We just see the contest. Could Harris have bodyline the ball and at least clear the ball? It was great play from Goodwin.
What about the big man here, Big Griffin? He's actually worked into the match really well. That was a great handball to Goodwin.
Margin back to 8 points. Rowan Smith, Nathan Eagleton back out on the ground.
Yeah, we said it was his hip before, boys, but it's definitely his right ankle. So they're just icing it now. He won't take any further part in the game.
So down to 3 on the bench. The margin at 8. Cooney, been quiet of late. Brilliant early. He's got it again. Somehow, they get it to Addison. To Lake. West.
Good
Lake
hands.
kept going.
This is better.
Big Brian Lake from 55 metres. Tumbles it forward. Johnson with his third. Game on again.
Do you know what I liked about that passage of play was that chain of handballs in the corridor, Cooney's second and third efforts in the centre square, the good handball by Scotty West, the good option, and what I loved about that was Brian Lake. He hasn't had the best day, but he took him on, kicked it to a dangerous area. Shirley did everything but mark the ball, and Johnson, well, champions as good as Brad Johnson know where the drop of the ball is, and just read it better in the finish. Wow, great goal.
3 for the skipper. So captain's goals at either end get the match back to 2 points once again.
And this
What
is
a terrific game.
And this is where the game's going to be won and lost here, Spud. If you look at this, a couple of minutes to go, you need blokes cracking in. Clearances are all important.
Here's Cooney. Disposal number 31.
Oh, good kick.
Johnson.
Oh,
50.
he's at 50.
No, 50. Lovely knock from Minson in the middle, though.
Oh, exactly.
Would have been a brave call. The Bulldog supporters won it, but Minson's been terrific this last quarter in the centre bounce. That was a magnificent tap. Beautiful kick, beautiful mark. Great football all round, Bulldogs.
Well, I just mentioned that the captains have been kicking goals at either end. Can he do it again? Can he kick his fourth? And put the Bulldogs in front? He does!
This is a magnificent game of football. Round 1, you'd swear this was round 6 or 7. Both sides have forgot about fatigue. They've forgotten about that. They're just playing on adrenaline now. The adrenaline's high. Brad Johnson, the 300-gamer, and magnificent tap from Minson. Cooney, the youngster, he's been terrific all day. 31 disposals, and Brad Johnson, what a great mark. Not sure whether Doty's the man for Brad Johnson in the contested marking situation.
Well, they unveiled the flag today, and he has certainly risen to the occasion with 4 goals in this second half. The crowd are on their feet and in full voice. And according to the script, it should now go down to Goodwin to kick a goal at the other end.
Matty, the Bulldogs have put 2 loose players back in the Adelaide Crows forward 50.
Welsh, the clearance. Higgins wants an easy bounce. Bassett towards the goal square. Higgins kept going.
Free kick.
He's infringed Bassett on the way through.
Will be interesting now because we've got 2 Bulldogs free, so Adelaide will have an easy possession out of this defensive 50.
They should be able to work the ball out of half-back pretty easily, you're right.
Cooney slipped in front, but he wasn't there. Griffin for Adelaide.
Did well again, Griffin.
McKay, Van Berlo, McLeod. Here's the right man to have in this situation. Where's Goodwin? Murphy right with him. Burton overran it. And Lake to clear.
They're away here, the Bullies.
Still over 2 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for either side. Hargrove to slow it down.
There's still enough time.
Well, they're going to have busy players here, the Bulldogs. They're going to have players that are prepared to work.
Adelaide need to man up though too, Lamb. Adelaide just need to get a Bulldogs jumper and play one-on-one and force the Bulldogs player to kick to a contest.
That's exactly what they've just done. That's a good play.
They forced it, but it's boundary side and a boundary throw-in.
That's a win for the Bulldogs. It was the only option they had. Adelaide manned up really well there.
Well, they had the Bulldogs had a couple of players too far behind the ball. They needed to get in a position to be used there by Hargrove.
Cooney again. This time towards Addison. Johnson measures the kick down the line. Higgins the target.
That's
right
another
within
win.
Bock. Free kick Higgins. The fans are jubilant. They can't believe it.
We've just got to remain composed though, the Bulldogs players. Crowd are getting involved. We have just got to play the game.
At times last year, Danny, he kicked some miraculous goals. He's been a bit untidy with his disposal today, Liam.
He has. He does know where the goals are. I think the last time we saw a Bulldog play this late in the game from there was Chris Grant.
Does he take the punt and kick it backwards to Brian Lake, who's on his own? Or does he have a shot on goal, Lamb?
I would think with a minute 30 to go, he could probably nearly nail this.
Higgins.
Tough kick, I know.
His side leads by 4. It's
Winston.
to the top of the square. Johnson for the 35. Unbelievable. You could not believe it. You pay your money to come to the footy and you see a man in his big game finish off with the winning goal.
Unbelievable stuff. He's been well held really for 3 quarters. He's kicked the last 3 goals of the game, Brad Johnson. He's hit the fall of the ball. I'm not sure what the Adelaide Crows defender was doing. He had him goal side. Smithy, let's go down to Rowan Smith.
How you feeling, Smithy?
He can't even hear us down there, Smithy.
Boys, just quietly, my heart is racing that fast, it's not funny. And I'm just going to ask him who writes his scripts when I go and speak to him in a minute.
Well, they got another minute
I hope
and
you're
20.
fit, Smithy. It'll take a while to catch him, I'm tipping.
Well, the crowd's just going off down here, boys.
Sorry, Rowan. 5 goals in the second half to the captain. They lead by 10. Can Adelaide pinch something here, though? Paul Pleasure inside the forward 50. Run. Slipped it over to Stevens. Stevens keeps the Crows alive. And then back to 4 points.
What a magnificent game of football. A little bit of a fumble there from the Bulldogs' defence. The last thing they needed was to get a goal straight away. Centre clearance, we see here, the ball slips through Daniel Cross's fingers. He'd love to have that one again. They've still got time, the Adelaide Crows. There's a minute to go. Centre bounce is crucial. Look for Will Minson to spike the ball forward hard.
What tension here at the Dome. Round 1, Neil Craig. His team still down by 4 points. We thought the fairy tale finish was there for Johnson. He got his side out to 10 points. Is it enough, though? Adelaide needing one more to steal it. Paul Pleasure's been brilliant.
Johnson.
It's touch, play on. Johnson knows it. Gave it to Gian Syracusa. The Dogs need to slow it up. Welsh. Turnover. Here comes Bob. Here go Adelaide. Stevens.
He's played on.
Can he spoil the party? The chip over the top. Bock. Time running down, 36 seconds.
Well, Bock intercepted the mark on the wing. The kick just had to go to space. From the Western Bulldogs, just had to kick the ball a little bit more to space. Unfortunately, Gilby was a stationary target. He was a sitting duck. Oh, what a big kick. Talk us through it, Matty.
What an amazing finish to this game of football. The Dogs thought they were home, celebrating an important day. And the Crows to rise from the proverbial dead on Easter Sunday. It's not to be, it's a behind.
There's a Cinderella story.
It's there for Johnson.
Get out there, Smithy.
What a way for the great man to celebrate his game. Number 300. He has been influential in his team's victory. 5 second-half goals. You've got to feel for Adelaide. A terrific performance. They almost pinched it in the last seconds.
Well, they've been such a champion, this bloke is. Well, 5 goals. The last 3 goals for the Western Bulldogs, Brad Johnson. Rowan Smith's making his way out to Jono as we speak. Crows were sensational, you're right.
You got a feel for Bob. Look, both sides were terrific. AFL football, it is back. Round 1. This is an entree to what we get for the season proper, but down to you, Smithy.
Well, Pete, wow, come on. Well, mate, it's an unbelievable day.
Oh, I just can't believe it. The boys just stuck deep, didn't they? It was absolutely amazing. We were up for a bit and then they fought back and they just showed great courage, you know. The whole pre-season's worth, you know, that effort, and that's our start now.
You got off to a terrific start, had a little bit of a lull in the second quarter, but as you said, the way the boys fought back and you kicked 5 goals in the second half, sensational, mate.
Yeah, it was a good effort all round by everyone. It was just a hard-fought contest and we were just wrapped to get the win.
And what about for now, mate? 300 games, a terrific day. Who's been writing your scripts? Has Shane Warne been writing your scripts? Because, you know, to kick 5 goals in that second half was unbelievable.
No kissing, Scotty. But it was just a great game by the boys. You know, you set yourself for round 1 and to get off to a great start, get that first 4 points, and we achieved it. So it's all about the team, mate.
Mate, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Go and celebrate, bud.
No worries, thanks, mate.
Hey, we'll have a beer tonight, don't worry about that.
Well, they are great mates. They have been for so long, and Rowan Smith doing his job, but also as a human being and as a great mate, he is so delighted for his best pal.
Oh, that's terrific. He spoke to the players before the game also. As you said, best mates. That's what football's all about. The camaraderie, the mateship, Liam, and to do it on the big stage. That's
Simon
terrific.
Goodwin going across from the Adelaide Crows to congratulate his opponent. There is Simon Goodwin. They would be bitterly disappointed, but they wouldn't decry his moment in the spotlight.
Well, you see Burton and also Goodwin going over there, and the experienced players know how good this bloke's been.
I think the Adelaide players are going to come over, Matty, and have a guard of honour for Brad Johnson, which is a terrific gesture from the boys because, as you said, they'll be bitterly disappointed because the last 2 times they've played on this ground has been beaten by the buzzer.
Well, basically, they've been last kicks, one on either end, and they had the chance to win. You know, Franklin stole it once, Bock the chance to win it.
I jokingly said that I didn't think there was a Lance Franklin on the Bulldogs forward line. It turned out to be the man of the moment. He kicked the last 3 goals, Brad Johnson.
Oh, that's a great gesture from the Adelaide Crows. They are a class unit, Adelaide. That is a fantastic gesture.
Well, they have their own stars. They know what it's like. They farewelled Mark Prosciutto last year. They've got McLeod, they've got Goodwin, they've got Edwards, and they will see them off in the next coming years.
Have a look at the guard of honour here for Brad Johnson.
Oh, it's sensational.
Scotty West, another best mate of his.
They've done it so well today, the Dogs. Unveiling the flags before the game. Getting all those former champions, including Rowan Smith, the 300-game players to line up before he came out. He ran out on the ground. What a star. It's his day.
It is his day, but let's look at the bigger picture. For the Western Bulldogs, they've got off to round 1 with a win, something they couldn't do for quite a while at the end of last season. So once all this emotion's out of the way, they've got 4 points on the board.
We've got a ready-made ruckman in Hudson. He was terrific. Young Hill, playing his second game of league football, was excellent. Welsh chipped in with 4. Let's not forget, when the game was up for grabs nice and early, Scotty Welsh kicked 4, so all their recruits have done really well, the Bullies.
His wife Donna there in the rooms, pleased as punch like every Western Bulldog supporter.
Oh, it's a perfect way to start the year, the Dogs. Rodney Eade, they look gone there the last 15 minutes.
3.5 minutes ago, you saw a quick shot on the coach's box to Rodney, thinking we need to kick 2 to get back in this game of football, and he's skipper.
Enter Brad Johnson.
Bang, bang.
3.5 minutes there was on the clock.
That's right, 3:31.
Unbelievable stuff.
37 goals for the game.
Oh, look.
As outstanding as entertainment.
All the doomsday saying AFL football a little bit like soccer. Well, we've got the best game in the world by a long way.
Young Jack Johnson. He's going to get a... well, Jack Johnson's a singer. He's about to get involved in a song, and he's going to wonder what's going to go on here.
There's a relieved coach, Rodney